And we are also live on Instagram. So, hey, everybody on Instagram. We are on the Shoni Talks Lifestyle page. That's good. That's perfect. It's perfect. We're on the Shoni Talks Lifestyle page because we are doing Life with the Sloans today. And we're going to be talking about the topic. So, go ahead and make sure that you share this feed with your friends, with your family, and everybody else. You might want to share it on your phone that we're on YouTube. So you want to share the feed on your phone?
I can do that.
Yeah. And you guys can hang out with us a little bit. And if you have some questions or anything like that, you can post below. And make sure I have this together. The cool thing is now I know you can go live on your phone and Instagram without some interference here because I don't hear anything, do you?
Nope, I don't hear anything at all.
I don't hear anything either. All right.
Just broadcast waves.
Yeah, just broadcast waves. So this is cool. Love this feature here. So how have you guys been enjoying Life with the Sloans? Have you caught up on some of the episodes? Talk about some of the episodes. The last one we had was Home Buyers Beware, but we got so many episodes.
There's more coming from that series. There's a lot of stuff, especially for the Home Buyers Beware talk that we had. We'll be sharing some more intimate details of that entire journey, at least as far as a couple people that we know. In addition to that, so what's the topic for today?
Well, everybody's just kind of hanging out with us, but we're going to talk about relationship goals because I feel like that's a good topic. We got people with goals. Well, it's a lot of people that's hitting their goals even in pandemic. Well, it's not that. It's this right here. Mm-hmm. It's the problem. All right, so yeah, people are hitting their goals even in pandemic. I've seen a lot of baby showers. I've seen a lot of weddings,
a lot of pregnancies.
Yeah, I don't think you should be hit. Well, if you're not married, you should be hitting them goals anyway. But you know what I'm saying. People out here relating or whatever you want to call that.
Not social distancing.
Yeah, they're not social distancing. They're getting closer, aren't they? It's a lot of relationships popping up. Hey, girl. That's my friend, Jamie.
Hey, Jamie. What's going on?
She just had an awesome trip in Aruba with her social distancing in there with her love. So she wasn't around the whole crowd of people, making me hungry with her pictures. This is my hubby, Jamie. You didn't get to meet him.
What's going on?
Yeah. So we're just hanging out here today. And in between this little hangout, we're going to be talking about relationship goals.
Facts.
That people have. So what are your relationship goals? After being over 14 years now? How many years together? Because you're the one that's good at
17.
this. 17? I think you said that last year. I'm going to say we're 18.
No, 2000. It's 2003.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, after being together for about 17 years.
Long time.
Knowing each other and married about 14 years. Yeah.
Long time.
Yeah. So what's your goals?
To stay married.
Of course, yeah.
That's
one of the goals, but
yeah. It's one of the.
That's just.
I think one of the most challenging.
That's the obvious goals.
Right? We watched a couple close relationships that we had that didn't make it over the past decade and some change. So, aside from that, building out financial portfolios, really starting to teach our children about investing, understanding the difference between relationships that really are mutually beneficial and developing those, and the ones that are more one-sided, and trying to have balance between those two things. So those are kind of some of the bigger goals relationship-wise. And that's all relationships. But more importantly, to be greater parents, greater husband, and then build out this journey. How about you?
I think some of the things I like, one of my goals was never to turn into the other person. So I like the fact that I'm not you and that you're not me. That's a good thing to have, because I think when we were coming up in college, we seen so many people turn into each other.
Yeah.
Just when they were dating, and then when they broke up, there was nobody left, because they just surround their whole world around their person. Not that you're not priority or anything, but you need to have a balance there.
Sure, too.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, good point, Jamie. Yep. And that's my ultimate goal, is to remain myself, continue enhancing myself, and then as I do that, that it enhances you.
And pursue. Each have individual dreams, separately
Yeah.
that they started before, you and I met each other. So
Right.
a lot of those dreams are, complementary in one way, shape, or form. Of being able to understand that at the end of the day, it's still our responsibility individually to accomplish them. I think that's
Right.
kind of one of the things that you alluded to when you were talking about some of the couples that we know who kind of fell into each other, as it were. And I think for us, after this long time, I don't think I've really become you. I don't think you've really become me. I think we still have our own individuality, but there's ways that we synergistically are working together.
Right. Or I don't want to become kids either. I think people do that too. I'm really determined on being me. Like I'm determined on continuing to be me. And I'm already an individual. What's the word? Not individual. I'm already, I'm not independent. I'm already like
that's what we going
very focused on what I'm gonna do.
You gonna do what you gonna do?
Yeah, I'm focused on that, and so are you. So it's very interesting, having two people that are like similar
minded.
Yeah, similar minded. In a relationship together that have their focuses, are able to hone their focuses together without losing yourself.
Yeah, there's a lot of give and take in any relationship, but more importantly, understanding that y'all both are working together. And I think the first probably 3-4 years of marriage, we was kind of fighting against each other a lot, just because you're used to being a certain way, I'm used to being a certain way, and it's like the two paths just we're very, very different. So I think once we kind of got over that initial hurdle, or those initial hurdles, then it became a bit easier to understand that we were not each other's enemy.
Yeah, definitely. I would say that I was still myself, but I was learning to be myself, the wife, versus myself, the person that was dating you.
Yeah.
Which is two different type of selves.
Very different responsibility too.
Yeah, very different type of responsibilities. And then when you add in kids, that's a whole nother types of responsibilities. All right, so that's one of my relationship goals, to continue. It's in continuing and maintaining myself. And as I maintain myself, that I'm learning I'm gonna call it mesh with you, the becoming of the one.
I don't know if I agree with that.
Okay, tell me what you agree. Well, you got to become one, but you still got to be yourself too.
Well, the one is supposed to be a ground that we both
one times
together.
One is one.
It doesn't benefit, doesn't detract. But I think with a lot of the relationships that we've seen that have kind of gone awry, there's been a common thread where one person was completely individual, the other person was completely individual, and the two paths never really crossed. It was like two different people living in the same home, but share finances in some ways, and share responsibility, or didn't. One person paid the bills from their check, and the other person kind of did their own thing, or whatever the case may be. I'm not saying that's bad,
which I think that's fine actually. Yeah. If you got somebody crazy that you love and you married to, and they got I'm gonna call it crack habits, where you like where the money went and all that. Yeah, you can separate them funds. Now, if you separating them funds because you trying to dip out, or you afraid they're gonna dip out, then that's a different reason.
Yeah, it's all in the purpose.
But
all in the purpose. I mean, we've seen that too. People, setting up stockpiles and additional storage funds on the side that the other person storage funds, the other stuff, making investments because they was ready to get up out of this situation.
Right.
But on a good note. So what else aside from those?
That's a good note. What are you talking about? On a good note. That is on a good foot.
I don't put nobody's business out.
No, it ain't nobody's business. It's a reality that most couples are dealing with. They're trying to figure out how to make it work. Yeah, how to make that work. Of course, trust is a big issue here. And when you're in a relationship, if you're supposed to be going on a straight path and someone goes and does a curve, it creates a trust problem in that relationship, and finances will come up, because if you're saying we're going to ride together and finances are going to be what it's going to be, and then you curve and do something else and you didn't communicate, that's going to cause problems. So
And conceptually, I think everybody has different ideas in their mind of what certain words mean. So when you say commit, to one guy, commitment is, well, I bring my whole check home and I make sure everything's taken care of. To another guy, it's, I'm consistent with the kids. To another guy, it may be, a mixture of the two, and there may be some other elements as well. But being able to understand the difference between both parties, I think, is a big challenge, but also a big opportunity. Biblically, when you think about Adam and Eve, a lot of the challenges that they had kind of faced.
They started out with everything.
They started out with everything they needed. So, if that's indeed what the original design and purpose was, to start off with everything you need, no struggle, no stress, no strife, then where we're at right now.
And matter of fact, he was the one cooking. Okay, he was the one supposed to be cooking, going out there, and that day he didn't feel like it. He didn't feel like cooking, so she had to go grab that good fast food. That was the first fast food restaurant that tree. It wasn't supposed to be.
That is not correct.
This is the story I'm gonna go with. So she like, let me go get this fast food, because he didn't go out there and hunt, get the fish or whatever he's supposed to get. He didn't go get it. And so she went out there. When she went there, when you go to the register and they be talking smack, that was the sergeant talking about that smack. And she was like, I don't really want to eat this fast food because I've been on this whole food diet. But,
not quote her.
I'm going to go out there. I'm going to get this and I'm going to get him some, because he didn't even think about me to bring me back my food this time. I was praying to God and everything. He didn't think about me. So she's like, here, you want this fast food? Because y'all ain't really supposed to be eating fast food. That's the problem right there. See? Started in the beginning. So she go eat the fast food.
Who went and got the fast food?
She had to go do it because he wouldn't go do what he's supposed to be doing. He's supposed to be in that kitchen cooking it up, hunting, make sure he prepared the meal. He ain't do that. See? So yeah. And it continues, Women are still picking up fast food. So
do not, under any circumstance.
This is not the real scripture. Look. I actually know the real story, but I'm funny anyways. But in my imagination, that's probably what happened.
When we get to heaven, we're going to talk to Eve about that. Like, yo, what was you thinking? Like, whose man's is this? What were you doing?
She like, I was waiting for my plate, but it ain't come. And when people get hungry for a long time, it's hangry. It's hangry.
And ever since then,
they make emotional decisions, and that's what happened. So we here.
Yep. And ever since then, is that why the tides have turned quite a bit on the food calendar? Is that why?
That's why. That's why we still having problems now. People trying to grow their food, all kinds of stuff. They out there living on fast food because the men don't want to cook. But it's all right, man.
Hey, listen, it's all right. Not all men don't want to cook. Some of us actually like to cook.
We don't want you to cook.
First of all,
you burn
food. I cook what I like to eat.
No, I'm good.
The way I like to eat.
Yeah, burnt.
No, not burnt. Sometimes it get burnt. On occasion, once in the blue.
Crispy food. Yeah, no thanks. Nah.
But on the back onto the financial tip. So
we want to switch up, huh?
No, because we were talking. I was looking at some of the comments.
Like go ahead.
People talking about the finances. So I think one of the biggest challenges in financial stature is really to understand how to accomplish a common goal in the future, like long-term investments. I think the first thing that we really agreed on investment wise was life insurance. And that was like, to me, it was a no-brainer. It was right off rip.
Nobody our age had life insurance.
I mean, be honest with you,
they had GoMe funds. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Well, whatever. GoMe funds, GoFundMe. Y'all see them everywhere. That's the new insurance, okay? People they are not, what's the word? They are not thinking about what's going to happen in the future. They're like, it's
not, let's correct this. It's not that they're not thinking about what happened in the future.
What they doing?
A lot of people are not educated that
that's true.
There are preventative measures that you can take. And life insurance is not a definite. It is the one thing that is certain is death. Everyone dies. You get one opportunity at that.
Yeah, everybody dies. Yeah.
There's one in and
it's gonna happen.
So life insurance
later than sooner.
We've seen. Well, I've personally seen. I don't know if you've seen it as well, but I've seen families that have multiple children and something happened where one of the children ends up getting killed. And as a ministry or church.
Yeah, she said living wills. That's
YMCA,
true. Yeah, wills.
You jumping
Yo,
ahead.
them
Good point.
arguments
Good
with them
point.
families about the wills or them non-wills or them people hiding wills. We ain't gonna go into that.
Well, listen, at the end of the day,
yeah,
your will is your will. It's your ability to make decisions with how you want whatever you've accumulated to be distributed or not distributed.
yeah, definitely.
But the point of what I was saying was about as far as finances is concerned, life insurance is a in case happens. Like
right.
We don't anticipate you dying before you're 18, but in the event that you do, hey, we're going to have a policy for you, and it's going to cover X dollar amount, which should be the funeral, and then there's going to be some additional resources left over for other stuff. There's unfortunate situations where a parent may die in a car accident or in a plane crash or anything like that.
Yeah, I know people like that.
And leave the children behind, and they, for whatever reason, they only had like the job policy, which they think that works for them outside of the job. Like you died, they want to pay the full amount, and that's not always the case. You need to read the fine print.
Right.
So, without having our expert online, but
we do know one person who was set up. Like their parent really thought ahead. And that's a shame that we only know one person. Yeah. So that hopefully that's not anyone else that would happen to or that we know or even us. But I think those are relationship goals. Those aren't things people think about.
That's right.
But those should be relationship goals because
you have to think
they affect your relationship.
Well, your responsibility is to put everyone else before yourself.
Right.
So you need to make sure that if you were no longer in the equation, what am I leaving to take as a surrogate, if I can use that term?
Okay.
But what am I leaving behind to potentially help my family?
Right.
And the truth is, most people don't really think about that.
Right.
If you have a situation where somebody dies tragically, and the burden is left on, say, the parents or grandparents of the children, that's a very different situation and very difficult to navigate, especially when you don't have clear and concise instructions, because the parent that's left behind might not want the children to be supported by the grandparents on either side. Or
look, she said her brother died when she was 9. Yeah.
Or our condolences first.
Yeah, condolences.
Thank you for sharing your story. But the challenge for at least many of the people that I've spoken to and worked with in the inner city is that these types of policies and programs are not really instilled in them from an early age. So as an example, if you go and you get $100,000 policy on a kid that's just born, the price versus you going to get $100,000 policy on that same child when they become, say, 10 is going to be astronomically different. When they become 18, it's going to be even more different. And then when they become 35 and 55 and 65, the longer they're on the planet, the more likely they are to dying sooner.
Right.
So what that means is that the policy is going to be the cheapest when the child's born. We had enough foresight where we were educated and we're told that. And so all of our children, it was a no-brainer. We took out policies like before we even had their social security number. We were signing all that stuff up, making sure they got it. And then so that way they're locked in. That's one of the strategies I try to get some of my friends to do. Some of them did it, some of them didn't. And, I had one of my friends call me maybe about 2 or 3 years ago, and his kid was like maybe 10-ish or somewhere around that. And he was like, yeah, I'm thinking about getting life insurance policy. And they quoted him numbers. And I'm like, bro,
that was high.
That's higher than my life insurance policy. And he said, I was like, yeah, it was a whole life policy. So not term.
Right.
And he was like, yeah, he's like, this was a 10-year-old kid, and they were charging him higher than what my life insurance policy was that I locked in, 15 years ago, 16 years ago?
Yeah.
Because the rate never changes.
No.
Whatever you pay from that day,
good.
You continue to pay it unless you decide to, opt out or you got a cash out benefit. But those are things that specifically are beneficial. Aside from that, what else should I jump into?
Another relationship goal. So we had the maintaining your individuality while becoming one, which is very important.
The Chevelle.
Finances. No, we're not talking about Chevelles. Get that toy car. That's what I'm talking about.
I got the toy car.
I'm talking about that little teeny one.
Yeah, I got that one already.
That's you keep collecting them.
We didn't cross that bridge. No, we didn't cross that bridge. Gotta go bigger and better.
Oh God.
You notice the models kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger?
I don't see anything. Nope.
That's why I got to keep making them bigger so you can really see them.
Nope, I don't see them.
And it's the same thing for our kids. Anything that our children want dream-wise, putting it in front of them and letting them see it and touch it and make it tangible
right.
is one of the ways that you encourage it. Just the same way you did with your dream.
Right.
You know, when you first wanted to start playing the piano, and you know, we had that conversation about the investment, and it was like, I mean, I think it was like a $4,000 investment for the workstation, the full workstation. He was looking at a Yamaha Motif and a Phantom. Roland Phantom. That's what it was.
I don't know.
Looking at that drum.
All right, let's talk about, this is a big part of, going on a little extra side right now, but it is a part of relationship goals, your sexuality.
Time to go.
Get back here. You talking about something, refill my cup. Refill my cup, Lord. Hey, it's a part of it. Hey, none of us would be here if our parents didn't have, well, I don't know if they had them goals, but they were doing something, but
2 pumps in the ground.
2 pumps in the ground. But those are goals.
So what are we talking about?
Goals that you should have. Your
every day, twice a day.
Okay, whatever. So you guys put down in the comments whatever y'all thinking. Look, everybody's different.
See, she agrees.
You said real talk. If not, we could just stay friends, right? What's the point, right? What's the point? Anyway.
I didn't get into it for once a month.
Just be friends. You said once a month.
I didn't get into it for once a month. Never.
See, well,
there are some people
I would be there are people out there that don't.
The drought.
Have any relations. I'm gonna call it relations. They don't have any relations except once a month.
A dry spell.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say, so the relationship goal is, even when you're doing all your individuality, becoming one, your finances, and all these things like that. Don't neglect your
sex.
Yeah, your relations. Don't neglect your relations, because I've had conversations with people, and they've said, "Oh yeah, we're just so busy. We haven't, maybe twice a month or something like that." I don't know. And they're not old, you guys. These are people like in their 20s, and some were in about their 30s that I had this conversation with. So I thought that was interesting.
I don't think I've ever had that far of a drought for any of my any of the conversations I've had. None of us.
Maybe a person that's single, I can understand why why you wouldn't be having relations. I understand all of that, depending on whatever your stance is.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah, but if you're a married person, I don't know. Because I think it was Miles Monroe. Was it Dr. Miles Monroe? He said women need it more than men do it. Men need it, right? Yeah. He said women need it more than men want it, or something like that.
What? No, men need it more than women want it. That's what he said.
No, he said women need it more than men want it.
Okay, well,
he said we need it.
I'm with you. You stick with that.
Whatever, anyway.
Yeah.
She said, yeah, look, oh, here comes Nerd come. Here you come right in on this conversation. Look.
Yeah, you need it more than I want it.
Yeah, and it's women. Different types of women have different type of appetite sexually. So this is the goal. The goal is, if you're gonna be with somebody in the relationship, make sure their appetite is
all you can eat.
No, make sure y'all have similar appetite. No, because you wouldn't want to be in a relationship with somebody and they be like, "Nah, I'm good." You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? She like, "What up, Miss Lauren?" Girl, you missed a lot. Look,
all you can eat.
We talking about relationship goals, girl.
Specifically on sex.
We hanging out. Yeah. The first relationship goal, she came in later. She said it's like food, keeps me happy. Yeah, it keeps you happy, right? One person said it relieves them of their stress. So
hey, listen, what's his name?
Yeah, I need this.
DeVal Ellis, when he was talking about him and Kay was talking about
look, is this Eric's contract?
Had me in tears. He said, what did he say? He said as men's testosterone goes up, their patience goes down. And I thought about it for a second. I was like, I agree.
Why you agree? I ain't a man, so I wouldn't know what.
Because as that testosterone level continues to build and build and build and build.
Oh, like they ain't getting nothing, they ain't getting nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all do be a little angry. Yeah, y'all be a little angry. Let me tell you, like, I went to Africa. Yeah, I could speak on this because when I went to Africa, you wasn't getting that. When I went to Africa, I was in Africa, you was here. How long was that? 3 weeks, 4 weeks? I was gone for a long time.
Longer than it should have been.
So how were you? How you did?
I was stuck with all the kids. I did about as well as you gonna get with 3 years.
Was you angry?
I was very angry. What you mean?
You know what you better do? Grab that self-control. That was some fruits of the spirit.
Listen, I grabbed me some lavender and put that on.
Some lavender.
Went to sleep.
And go to sleep.
That was it.
Go to sleep for 4 weeks.
Early nights. Early nights.
Well, listen, that's a good question because you got people who they're in like film or they do these other professions. You gotta keep it a little spicy. You gotta keep it a little spicy. You know what I'm saying?
If I was doing films, I'd fly you out. You know what I mean, send you back.
Right, but they might be like it ain't like that right now. Right now, it's a whole pandemic situation. Like, and I'm not on the Tyler Perry cast, but I heard on Tyler Perry's cast, he had them all quarantined, like his whole crew quarantined, and nobody could go out or come in, and he had all their meals delivered. I mean, that's kind of the life.
Well, some of the sports teams are doing that too. It's the safety.
Yeah, so you ain't getting your girl. In fact, one person got kicked off the team because he had a girl come, and that girl gave him COVID. Yeah,
I didn't even know she had COVID. I think she just got, you know what I mean, just got that situation.
She probably was asymptomatic. That's how you say it, asymptomatic?
Asymptomatic.
Asymptomatic. Whatever. Asthmatic. Let me stop.
Lord have mercy. This won't be making it worse. So
yes, I do. But y'all knew what I meant. Even though I was making it up, it made sense.
No. So
what she say? She said Miss Palm and her 5 kids. He's like,
tighten up, dog.
She got that.
No, but on the real. So when you sitting there and you're dealing with the challenge associated with, because there's different appetite levels and different times in the relationship. Like y'all crest at different periods than we do.
Okay.
Like men's is typically is it 20 or 30? It's like a 10-year differential.
You talking about like our sexual peak?
There's different peaks. There's crests, there's ebbs and flows, like everything else. So y'all typically crest sometime in like the late 20s, and then y'all crest again towards the 40s.
Right, but then you gotta think about this. Like that's accurate if you're talking about somebody who we're not talking about sex. We're talking about sex right now, but we were talking about relationship goals. The first one was maintaining your individuality while still becoming one.
Yep.
Because you don't want to lose yourself. You see people become each other. You don't want that. The second one was about financial goals. And this one is about sexual goals because some people don't have them goals. You got to have them goals. So, yeah. And now I forgot what I was going to say.
You're going to say the goal is to reach the back wall. That's what you're going to say.
Yes. No, that's not what I was going to say. Yeah, what did she? Wait, hold on. She says love language is important. Oh, nice. Okay.
Yes.
So her and her significant other love language is touch.
Listen,
so what ours is different.
But you can't throw out love languages if people never read the book. Like most people can't even tell you the 5 love languages. So physical touch is one.
Okay.
Quality time.
Mm-hmm. Affirmation.
I did the first 2. You got 1. Come on.
It's coming. It's over here on the other side of the brain. Hold on.
Come on. The last 2.
Acts of service.
There you go.
And I came through. That was it. That was 5, right?
Wasn't it? That's 4.
No.
Yes.
Physical touch, affirmation, acts of service,
quality time, gift giving. Correct.
That's like acts of service.
No, it's different.
No, it's different.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's different.
whatever. It's all the same to me.
Gift.
Give me.
Thank you. Yes, gift giving. That was the last one.
All right, so my top was acts of service.
You like to serve?
No, I like to be served.
Just to clarify. And driving around doesn't count.
Yeah. And I like the things that I like for him to do. He was counting it as the things he is doing that he deems important, which it is important, the things that he's doing. But I was like, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about these things right here. These services. I got my list. Like
Honey,
when you go to the store.
List.
Yeah. So anyway. And your top what was your top? Touch? Quality time.
There you go.
Yeah, quality time was his first. My second was quality time. And then his second was touch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Touch. So yeah, no touch.
Hands on.
We want y'all to stay on this live. Hold on, wait, look. You're not trying to get kicked off the live. Oh gosh. So yeah, those are relationship goals, and your sexual goals. But it was something I was going to say about sexual goals. I can't even remember right now. Darn. Who was it? No, I can't remember. She said that's her second quality time.
Oh, nice.
Awesome.
Nice. Yeah. So when you
and she said gifts and extra services.
Yeah, that's what she was telling us the other two. Yeah. So when you when you're learning about each other's love languages and working together on that part, you want to sit down and really come up with a dedicated plan for each other, where this one likes to plan stuff like calendar invites, all that. I
plan everything. I would plan the interactions. I would plan the eating. You hear me? I schedule. He's shaking his head, but look, that's a good thing to be planning stuff, because if you don't plan, you saying it's important if you plan. That's to me. We disagree on that point, but whatever. He like
to be. Start at 9:30. If you don't get yours by 10 o'clock, I'm done.
You get yours in. Look.
That is not the kind of schedule.
No, because sometimes it hasn't been right on the dot. So anyway, whatever. No, planning is good. I don't care what you say. You say what you want to say.
I plan not to miss an appointment.
Planning is good, like I said. Messing around with your behind. Let me tell you what happened, right? When we first got married, he used to be playing around, right? Playing around. And I'm talking about the interactions. And you wouldn't get the interactions to real late. I don't remember what time it was. And I'm like, dang, I got to get up like 6 o'clock in the morning, right? 2 o'clock in the morning. And he over here like, boy, come on. With the interactions and all that. And I'm like, dude, like, can we earlier? Like, can we move that up? Like, I got to get up at 6. Guess what happened? Life switched. And guess who has to get up earlier now?
Actually, you do. Because you get the kids.
Yeah, but I just feel real refreshed for some reason. Anyway, but
I can tell you why.
No, but you was getting whatever. But you was getting up early too, and you was like, I gotta get up early. Remember? Yeah, you do. Don't lie.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Pre-COVID.
Yeah, you was like, I gotta get up earlier and all this extra, and I was like, see.
Yeah, but it's because I had to drive to appointments and stuff.
You still get up at the same time, and you don't drive.
Yeah, but I mean that's a little bit easier. I ain't got to drive because I had to leave earlier.
Anyway. Scheduling is not a bad thing. Schedule your dates. Schedule your. Y'all might not agree with me. Y'all can schedule a whole bunch of stuff. You hear me?
Schedule your investments in personal investment. Firstly, so just like we talked about the financial aspect of it in the relationship goals, schedule your time to invest personally. Don't make it where it's just everybody else and then there's no investment in you. I don't particularly love to read, but I read a lot because I know that
he does. If he even tries to read to me, it's torturing. But go ahead.
Not because I can't read, because she don't typically like to read.
I'll be like, I can read on my own.
The investment in and of itself is one way that you can pour back into yourself, or also pour into your kids. Like we just bought a couple books. I think they're over there. We just bought a couple books for our kids to be able to read to them. And we're trying to encourage them to be able to invest in themselves. So we're buying, not necessarily self-help books, but encouraging books for, young minority children, because typically there's not a lot of depiction, unfortunately, in a lot of the cartoons that are out. And so a lot of the things that they watch, they don't really get to see people that look like them. So one of the things we've been doing is...
Did we get to see couples that look like us? We only have Obama and Michelle.
We don't get to see if it's not on TV, we don't get to see couples.
We thought we might have had the Jay-Z and Beyonce. No shade, Beyonce. But then she came out and was talking about whatever the apology was. Anyway,
no smoke.
So that ain't none of that.
I want no smoke.
So we're going to let y'all be. Go ahead and work that out. We're going to let y'all work that out, everybody.
No smoke.
So all we have is Michelle and Obama right now. Claire and the fake couple.
I need to know Claire Michelle Obama is her full name. Michelle and Barack, if that's who you're talking about.
Well, Obama's his nickname too. We call him Obama.
No, his last name is Obama.
But that's what we call him.
All right.
Obama.
Anyway.
President Obama. That's my president right now, by the way. Anyway, so.
No smoke.
That's my president.
But at the end of the day, the personal investment from an individual level can pay dividends. It will pay dividends. Make sure you do that. Don't just negate and invest in everybody else and not do stuff for yourself. Because if you can't pour out into people, it's because you haven't received what you're trying to pour.
Yeah, we're talking about your own individual self. Okay? Because then your partner gonna be shoveling through all the stuff you ain't do for yourself.
Yep.
Through all that pile of mess because you ain't investing in yourself, and now it's gonna be a struggle.
Funny story.
No,
she said that there was a book I had tried to get her to read. 4 years before. Great book. Love the book.
Which book is this?
This was How to Win Friends and Influence People. The one that you were reading.
I read a lot of that book. First of
you
all,
didn't read any of the book.
That's a lie. I read a lot of that book because my grandfather that passed told me to read that, and I bought that book.
Was it that book or there was another one?
Because I read that book.
There was
so
a
you know what you're
situation.
talking about.
No, there was a situation where one of your mentors recommended a book to you to read that I had told you.
Oh, he
about
put me on
4 years
blast.
before.
I don't know which book you talking about. Not that one.
It might not have been that one, but
it definitely wasn't that one. That was a good book. Go get that book. How to Win Friends and Influence People. Go get that.
Dale
book.
Carnegie.
Are awesome. Yeah,
great book.
No, I read that one.
So anyway,
it's like a big one.
4 years later, after the book, I had already read the book. I had given it to her and told her, "Listen, you need to read."
I don't
this.
remember which book you're talking about.
She didn't want to read.
It doesn't come to my mind.
Yeah, it doesn't come to your mind.
No, I really don't remember.
Because you weren't in that reading phase.
Every time I say something, I sound sarcastic, but I'm not being. I really don't remember.
The mentor turned around and recommended this particular book, and I went and I pulled the version out that I had bought before.
I don't remember which one it was.
It's all right, it's cool.
But I've read a bunch of really awesome books the last couple of years, which is a big deal. Now you bought me a magazine. I looked at it and I read about the Capital Ventures, Serena Williams, all that. I read the article on her. Yeah, I read the article on her. I didn't read all the rest of it.
How long it took you to read it?
Took a second.
What was the second? Like a couple days, couple weeks, months?
A second in God's eye. How long is that?
Right. Well, if one day.
No, it wasn't years.
If one day is 1,000 years, I don't know if you want to open that one up.
Second. The point is that it happens and it got done. That's all that matters.
Invest in yourself continuously and make it consciously a decision to do it daily if you can. And if you can do it for you, try to also do it for your spouse and or your children, or alternate whatever your schedule allows.
Definitely. All right, and we're gonna end on this one. What's one more relationship goal that you have?
Last relationship goal. To limit
Do
stress.
not pass gas in the covers. Let me stop.
That would be you, not me.
No, but I don't trap it.
If you're under the covers.
No, that's not a relationship goal. I'm just messing. I'm being silly.
Limit the stress. That is a bigger relationship.
Limit the stress. That sounds like an individual thing that you have to do for yourself.
No, it has to do with the way that you handle things that come before you.
Okay.
That's it. It's not
together as a couple.
Well, individually too.
And individually.
As a couple, when you have financial stress that comes, you both have to deal with that.
We already talked about financial. Maybe some other stress.
Well, let's see.
Family stress. Family stress. That's what we can talk about. My gosh.
No, family. Any not just family, any extra relationship stress. So external to just you.
Look, when you with somebody, you with their family. You hear me? You
Facts.
ain't with them.
Facts. Facts.
You with their family, okay? Whether the family was how it was when it first started and then something else, whatever, you with them through all of that. You hear me?
All the ups and
all
downs.
of it.
And unfortunately enough for both of us, we're the oldest. So
yeah, we're both
everybody gets to learn with us.
And we're the only ones married on both sides right now. Because my siblings really aren't old enough to be married yet. His siblings could be, but they're not. Nobody's married. Yeah.
We're the only married ones.
Yeah, we're the only ones.
Only. On both sides.
You. Stop. Yeah, we're the only ones. So yeah, it's been an interesting ride with the family stress and things of that nature. Why are you picking that much in?
I just love your chin so much.
You do? Thank you.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, it's awesome. So yeah, anyways, with the yes, be a safe place for each other. I love that.
That's right. Don't pull the covers off of them.
Yes.
Don't do that.
Yes. So with the family stress, the relationship goal is to keep your family. No. Keep boundaries with your family. And don't let your family cross into your relationship. That's the advice for relationship goals on that, because your relationship is your relationship. Keep your family out of your relationship.
As much as you can.
And your finances.
As much.
And everything. Anything in your relationship, keep your family out of it. Yeah. If anything, only thing they really should be doing is they should be encouraging you in your relationship, stuff like that. But Nothing personally. Don't involve your family in that because no,
And
it'll cause problems.
wisdom wise, you have to understand the difference between just because they're blood, it doesn't necessarily mean that their motives and or intentions are to help benefit you.
Yeah.
Because regardless of them being blood or being related, there's always the opportunity to create discord or dissension.
Right.
That is not something that doesn't happen with family. Unfortunately, the people that hurt you the most typically are people that are closer to you. So being wise about how you
respect their relationship. That's how you respect the relationship with your family. You keep boundaries with your family. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying you can't be close to your family. I'm not saying that you can't hang out with your family and chop it up and all that type of stuff. But you got to keep the boundary when it comes to your relationship. And if your family really loves you, they'll respect that. And your relationship and your friends too. They'll respect that too. That's right. I'm gonna say family and friends. I'm gonna throw the friends in there too.
Everything ain't for everybody.
Yeah, everything ain't for everybody. Like was it Jamie? Like she was saying, like it's right in here. Keep it in here. Only other people should be involved is your accountability. We do have 2 couples that we go to for accountability. And that's not all the time. That's for certain things, but yeah.
When it gets above the threshold or you can't see each other or
and
can't come to an agreement or any of those things, then that's when you want to sit there and you want to involve a neutral, I guess I won't say bipartisan, but a neutral party that has wisdom to be able to navigate through those troubled waters.
What I can say about both of our, I'll say parents, I can't say family, everybody in the family, but both of our parents have been very, what's the word? Rooting for us as far as making sure that we remember that we're in this together and it's not no divorce is not an option and or nothing like that. Both of our families have been really instrumental in expressing that to us. Yeah. Even though our families are different, our families lead different type of lifestyles. Mm-hmm. But they're both encouraging the fact that this is what you signed up for. This is what you said you wanted.
And the other part is, as I said, we're the oldest.
So you better stick this out.
We're the oldest. So if it don't work, after all this time, it gives precedence or sets a precedence for the ones that are following behind us.
Yeah. Now, if he was crazy or whatever, then it'd be a whole different story.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be encouraging me. Yeah, they wouldn't be encouraging me to stay in there because I wouldn't encourage anybody to stay in a relationship with somebody who is abusive or just not good for you. That's like, we need to go. Yeah, it's time to go.
Yeah, domestic abuse.
Yeah, that's different. Or verbal abuse. Domestic, verbal, any of that stuff.
No, domestic is within the confines of your home. Yeah. So domestic as a whole.
And some people get married young. Some people get married young. They didn't know what they was doing.
You got married young. What you mean?
No. Some people get married like they ain't even like it wasn't really. You can tell, like you can tell they're like, oh, we were young when we got married. It was, you know what I mean, maybe whatever. Mm-hmm. Sometimes even because somebody got pregnant or whatever the case, and then years down the road they realize this really wasn't
shotgun wedding.
Whatever. Yeah, you don't stay somewhere just to stay. Yeah, mm-hmm. I mean that sounds weird, but you know what I'm saying.
And at the end of the day, you as an individual and as a couple, you're responsible.
And we're not counselors. This is our goals that we're talking about.
It's our disclaimer. Everybody else, nobody.
Yeah,
this ain't your goals, cool. But as individuals, when you come together to accomplish that common goal, your job is not only to protect each other, but it's also to understand when one person is going down a path that will harm them. If they can't hear you, then it's your responsibility to get help for them, to help and make sure that they don't end up harming themselves or doing something that's irreparable.
Or they're making you, or they're berating you, making you feel like you're less than, or whatever the case. I mean, everybody's situation is different, but the thing is, hopefully, that everybody has eyes to see when something is not what it should be, and to get out earlier rather than later, if that's what you have to do. I ain't down for the let me press into this for the long haul, and you're downing me, you know what I mean? And it's just not a good situation. I'm not down for that.
Yeah, and if you know of anyone that is in a situation like that or has domestic abuse that they're being subjected to,
or any kind of abuse,
please, if the person does not get help for themselves in some way, shape, or form, it's your responsibility to intervene. Because over the years, I've seen situations where It doesn't just happen just to young women, but it happens to men as well, where the damage that is done, in some cases, can even be death. The person can end up dying at the hands of the person that's abusing them.
Yeah, we've seen that.
If you see it, or you know of anybody else, take responsibility and try to make sure that they get help. One of the I guess relationship goals that we had was that we wanted to make sure that certain things that were oppressive to other people, we in some way, shape, or form helped to correct. So, whether that's giving back food to the homeless, or whether it's, sharing or donating clothing to people that don't have, or whether it's, working at a food shelter, or any of those things, those are all ways that you can give back to help a group of people that may not have had that benefit elsewhere. And so,
and more likely the people that do it to other people, somebody did it to them, and then someone ends up experiencing that same thing when you're connected to them. So I'm glad that you did get out.
And check out the one, the Shawnee Talks lifestyles that she did about 2 months back.
Which one was
talking about with sex trafficking and the young women that are getting abused there and being kidnapped and things like that. Check that out so you understand some of the signs to be able and be watchful for. Giving back is something that goes far beyond just, I gave you $100 gift here and there. Watching out for the kids in the community. If you see something that's odd, don't just turn a blind eye, because that little kid might end up on the news later today saying that they were missing. In one way, shape, or form, we're all responsible for our ability to help ensure safety for other people.
Right.
Whatever that means to you, if you're a firearms advocate, cool. If that's not you, I'm fine with that too. But if you have a voice to be able to help someone else, do that. That's something relationally that both of us, we made the decision on early on. We started giving back, whether it was financial, whether it was time or sponsoring, whatever the case may be. And that's something that we encourage our children to do. So I think we would be amiss if we didn't mention that as a relationship goal, because that goes beyond just you and I. We have the ability to impact other people.
Yes, definitely. Well, thank you for joining us today. On a live, we decided to do a live versus an episode that we would normally do, but we encourage you to go check out Life with the Sloans on YouTube. Life with the Sloans on YouTube. We premiere here on Shawnee Talks Lifestyle because it's one of our shows that is like a spinoff show from the lifestyle show that I do. It just kind of gives you a closer look into us as a family and us as a couple. And so if you want to check out those episodes, there's tons of episodes on YouTube. Go ahead and share it with your friends, share it with your family. And thanks for hanging with us. It was good to see you. And we will talk to you later.
Next time.
Bye. All right, everybody on YouTube. We were doing this whole Instagram, YouTube type thing. And hey, Takandra. So hopefully you caught up on what we were talking about.
Yeah, we had
had
a good time. And we are on what we did. So we did IG up top, and down here we were doing is this Facebook or what is this?
This is YouTube.
YouTube. All right. So everybody on YouTube, what's good? Sorry if we weren't looking at you. We were trying to do both.
We're trying to do both. I'm like, I hope you ain't seeing up my nostrils. My gosh, that'd be bad.
But to recap, short, today's episode was about relationship goals. We talked about financial, long-term investment, things like that. We talked about sexual.
Right.
Or we talked about children first. What was the other one before that?
You said it.
You talked financial.
Mm-hmm.
The third one I thought was sexual.
No, love languages.
Oh, second one was sexual. Third one was love languages. And the fourth one was ways to give back relationally that we agreed on. So those are the 4 topics of conversation. Check us out.
Check us out on Life with the Sloans.
And subscribe.
Like and subscribe. There's not going to be a button here because we're on live on YouTube. But I'm sure if you're watching on YouTube, you can hit that button. And if you haven't already, you can share it with somebody. Because we talk about a lot of cool things on that channel. And you can also check out our other channel, Shawnee Talks Lifestyle, which is different focus. Everything lifestyle, but this is a spin-off show, like I said before, on that. So thanks for joining us today and have an amazing day. Bye.